The elevator continued its impossibly slow ascent, or at least I imagined it was ascent. There was no telling for sure. It was so slow that all sense of direction simply vanished. It could have been going down for all I knew, or maybe it wasn't moving at all. But let's just assume it was going up. Merely a guess. Maybe I'd gone up 12 stories, then down 3. Maybe I'd circled the globe. How would I know? Every last thing about this elevator was worlds apart from the cheap, die-cut job in my apartment building, scarcely one notch up the evolutionary scale from a well bucket. You'd never believe the two pieces of machinery had the same name and the same purpose. The two were pushing the outer limits conceivable as elevators. First of all, consider the space. This elevator was so spacious it could have served as an office. Put in a desk, add a cabinet and a locker, throw in a kitchenette, and you'd still have room to spare. You might even squeeze in 3 camels and a mid-range palm tree while you were at it. Second, there was the cleanliness. Antiseptic as a brand-new coffin. The walls and ceiling were absolutely spotless, polished, stainless steel. The floor immaculately carpeted in a handsome moss green. Third, it was dead silent. There wasn't a sound. Literally, not one sound. From the moment I stepped inside and the doors slid shut. Deep rivers run quiet. Another thing most of the gadgets an elevator is supposed to have were missing. Where, for example, was the panel with all the buttons and switches? No floor numbers to press, no door open and door close, no emergency stop. Nothing whatsoever, all of which made me feel utterly defenseless. And it wasn't just no buttons. It was no indication of advancing floor. No posted capacity or warning, not even a manufacturer's nameplate. Forget about trying to locate an emergency exit. Here I was, sealed in. No way this elevator could have gotten fire department approval. There are norms for elevators, after all. Staring at these 4 blank stainless steel walls, I recalled one of Houdini's great escapes I'd seen in a movie. He's tied up in how many ropes and chains, stuffed into a big trunk which is wound fast with another thick chain and sent hurtling, the whole lot, over Niagara Falls. Or maybe it was an icy dip in the Arctic Ocean. Given that I wasn't all tied up, I was doing okay. Insofar as I wasn't clued in on the trick, Houdini was one up on me. Talk about not clued in. I didn't even know if I was moving or standing still. I ventured a cough, but it didn't echo anything like a cough. It seemed flat, like clay thrown against a slick concrete wall. I could hardly believe that dull thud issued from my own body. I tried coughing one more time. The result was the same. So much for coughing. I stood in that hermetically sealed vault for what seemed an eternity. The doors showed no sign of ever opening. Stationary in unending silence. A still life. Man in elevator. I started to get nervous. What if the machinery had malfunctioned? Or suppose the elevator operator, assuming there was one in the building, forgot I was here in this box. People have lost track of me before. I strained to hear something, anything, but no sound reached my ears. I pressed my ear against the stainless steel wall. Sure enough, not a sound. All I managed was to leave an outline of my ear on the cold metal. The elevator was made, apparently, of a miracle alloy that absorbed all noise. I tried whistling Danny Boy, but it came out like a dog wheezing with asthma. There was little left to do but lean up against a wall and count the change in my pockets. For someone in my profession, knowing how to kill time is as important a method of training as gripping rubber balls is for a boxer, although in any strict sense it's not killing time at all. For only through assiduous repetition is it possible to redistribute skewed tendencies. I always come prepared with pockets full of loose change. In my right pocket, I keep 100 and 500 yen coins. In my left, 50s and 10s. 1 yen and 5 yen coins I carry in a back pocket, but as a rule these don't enter into the count. What I do is thrust my hands simultaneously into both pockets, the right hand tallying the 100s and 500s, in tandem with the left hand adding up the 50s and 10s. It's hard for those who've never attempted the procedure to grasp what it is to calculate this way, and, admittedly, it is tricky at first. The right brain and the left brain each keep separate tabs, which are then brought together like two halves of a split watermelon. No easy task until you get the hang of it. Whether or not I really do put the right and left sides of my brain to separate accounts, I honestly can't say. A specialist in neurophysiology might have insights to offer on the matter. I'm no neurophysiologist, however. All I know is that when I'm actually in the midst of counting, I feel like I'm using the right side and left side of my brain differently. And when I'm through counting, it seems the fatigue that sets in is qualitatively quite distinct from what comes with normal counting. For convenience sake, I think of it as right brain totals right pocket, left brain totals left pocket. On the whole, I think of myself as one of those people who take a convenience sake view of prevailing world conditions, events, existence in general. Not that I'm such a blasé, convenience sake sort of guy, although I do have tendencies in that direction, but because more often than not, I've observed that convenient approximations bring you closest to comprehending the true nature of things.